If you are here, you most likely have a tibial plateau fracture or an open reduction internal fixation surgery. If that is the case, I promise you, this muscle right here was probably missed in your rehab, and it is massively important. I had a tibial plateau fracture. This was me 5.5 weeks later. This is also one of my clients in my online program. He can't even walk yet, tibial plateau fracture from a motocross accident, and he already has heel to butt flexion. Now, this is not meant to trigger anybody. Everybody has a different path to being healed. However, you need to do more than you think. In today's video, I'm going to go over the anterior tibialis, how this is always forgotten, not only in these surgeries, ACL, MCLs, PCLs, basically any knee injury. The anterior tibialis is crucial because not only does it activate your foot and move your foot, it's connected to the knee, and the deep perineal nerve goes under it. So please take a look at this video, look at the manual massage you can do, the foam rolling massage you can do, and the scraping technique. All of them are different, all of them are massively helpful, and the scraping technique is so helpful. I'm literally filming a module for the online program, how everyone can either A, do it to themselves, or B, I will teach your loved one, if you have a loved one, how to do it to you. And if you don't have a loved one, you can do it to yourself, or find a loved one and they can do it to you, or pay for a loved one. That sounds bad, but you know what I mean, and you can get it done. This is massively helpful. All joking aside, please watch this video and do something to your anterior tibialis because the results are truly remarkable. All right, so exercise number 1, we're gonna use a foam roll. There's 2 ways to do this. Since your leg is broken, bending it might not be possible. So if you can't bend your leg, it's a little bit more technique-wise. I'm gonna look in both cameras here, make sure this makes sense. Technique-wise, this one's a little bit more difficult because you've got to use your actual leg. So depending on how you can or cannot bend your leg, this is basically the base movement, if you will, yeah? So do what you need to do. You can do it in bed. You don't need to do it on the floor. This is a little bit more difficult because you've got to move your hip. So the coordination of it is a little bit harder, and also just the movement on your leg is a little bit more difficult. So from here, as you can see, I'm literally just moving from my hip, rolling over this anterior tibialis. Now, the normal way we would do this for someone that does not have a broken leg and or has maybe the flexion that they need is, I'm not sure what camera this is going to be the best in. Maybe I rotate, let me see, I've got another camera here. I'm going to do my left leg. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left leg and I get it in the crease of my leg. From here, I get the foam roll like this, and now I can move my entire body. So now I don't need to move from the hip. I can literally just put my hand, one hand down or both hands down, and I can move from my entire core, from my entire body. So this is much easier to do for a longer period of time. You can always change the angle within the roll. I'm gonna do it this way now, which maybe is better for this camera, but it might be blocked there. So basically what I do is I bring my foot behind my knee. Now my left leg was my broken leg, and from here I'm able to then have a little bit of like tension here, torque we would say, and from this allows me to move my entire body. So from a movement standpoint, this one is probably a little bit easier once you get in this position, but from a fracture position, this takes quite a bit of knee flexion. So if you don't have that knee flexion, the goal is to somehow find a way in which you can get in this position, even if it's, oh man, even if your leg is not, how do I say, if you're not able to bend the knee, try to find a way to get in this position to get over that anterior tibialis. Now, if you can't, actually, one way you can do it is you can then sit down like this. I'm gonna make sure I'm still on the camera here. And you can bend whatever you have. And A, you can just use the foam roller like this to go over it. B, you can also get some, I would say some lotion, so you keep your, what do you call it? You keep your skin and your hair on your leg. And you can just work on it like this. Now, if it feels disgusting, that's normal because this is a muscle that they picked up, moved over, if you will, in order to put those plates, you can see my scar right here, in your leg. So we're gonna have some scar tissue, we're gonna have the fibular head right here, we're gonna have a nerve that drops down here, the tibial nerve, and then we also have the deep perineal nerve. This is the drop foot nerve that goes down here. So if you get some nervy pain, if you wanna call it that, that's normal. Just push lightly. It doesn't matter. I even was doing this when my stitches were on. I'll add a picture in here where I was using a Theragun literally like day 4 after my surgery. I was still in the hospital on my quad. So as long as you go light and you listen to your body, you have nothing to worry about. And again, you can put your leg in any position if you want. If you're still non-weight bearing and you're afraid to have your leg like this, set it up on something. It's not a problem. You just need to start working on this area so you can start releasing some of that scar tissue. Now, massage is fantastic. Foam rolling is very similar to massage, but now what I want to do is I want to go into how you can use a scraping tool to get more, in my opinion, into the superficial layer, superficial fascial layer, and get some of those free nerve endings. If you have like a paper cut, you know how much it burns and it hurts. Well, my theory is a lot of these free nerve endings and kind of superficial nerves, if you will, are getting caught up in this superficial fascia. I don't know how many times I can say superficial here. And this is kind of the issue. So I keep speaking to this camera. I'm gonna maybe speak to both of them here, sorry. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna come back with my scraping tool and some wax. If you don't have any wax, no worries. Coconut oil works great. You just basically want something so you don't take your skin off. So if your skin is not gonna come off, I guess technically you don't need anything. All right, so I've got some beeswax here only because I'm doing this on clients all the time, so I actually have what I need. If you don't, like I said, coconut oil works fine. This is probably my favorite tool in the world. It's by Sidekick Tools, Canadian company. Ironically enough, they are not big fans of me because I turn all of my clients super red, which I don't think they're a fan of. However, I don't care who's a fan of me. My goal is to get you results. So as you can see, I've already put some down on my shin. Technically, I could work on it like this. This is the way the tool is made. However, I like doing it like this because it's a little bit more poignant to where exactly I want to work. And now all I'm doing is lightly going over my anterior tibialis. So the muscle goes down here. You might get some nerve pain down there and all the way up. And I can even kind of go over that fibular head. That's going to be the thing that feels like the knuckle right there. I can even go up and go over my scar and my bones if you want. People are like, oh yeah, you shouldn't scrape your bone. I'm not scraping my bone. We have fascial, we have periosteum, which is the tissue around your bone. We have a whole bunch of skin and things even over our bones, so to speak. So it's okay to go lightly over your bone. And when that area starts turning very kind of bloodshot red, that's normal. Well, it's not normal, but you have an injury, so that's normal. And that's just you breaking up some of that adhesive tissue in there so it can start to slide and glide better. And when your knee can slide and glide better, then you can move better. So a lot of times when I would get right back in this area here, I definitely had some nerve pain because this is, if I remember my anatomy correctly, the sciatica nerve comes down and the tibial, it splits into your tibial nerve, which goes right through here. Here you have your deep perineal nerve. So again, nerve pain is normal. And you can even start getting up in your IT band here if you want. Now, I brought 2 tools because you can also have something smaller like this. You don't need to buy the most expensive tools or the name brands. You can just kind of start on Amazon and get what you can find. However, you will notice that my technique is the same. I'm not pushing hard. If I was pushing hard, you would hear it in my voice. I'm pushing very lightly, and actually I should probably do this more to myself because even my shin is starting to still turn red. So just due to wonderful life, quite often our tissue just gets adhesed and it's not sliding and gliding throughout our entire body like it should. And in this case, since we've all had this injury or a injury, then this is a little bit more prone to having that issue. And since we all still have scar tissue for sure, then when we are more prone to the tissue getting adhesed and not sliding and gliding like we want it to, we then have, problems easier. It's like someone with glasses that forgets them when they're driving down the road or reading a book. They're tempted or they're more likely to get a headache than someone that doesn't wear glasses. So as you can see, the entire time I'm talking, I'm just continuing to work on my leg, and I think when the video's over, I will continue since the wax is on and I'm already in this position. So that just shows that 2-3 years post-op, I forget exactly, mine was in 2022, November 12th, that I still treat myself. I still like doing this because at the end of the day, life never stops. Therefore, we always need to treat ourselves. And if we had an injury, like I said with the glasses example, then we're more prone to having issues. It's as simple as that. So you can either do the foam roller, you can either do your own hands, or you can grab one of your own IASTM instrument-assisted soft tissue manipulation tools, scraping tools, Gua Sha tools, Keratin tools, and call them whatever you want. You can even use a spoon if you want, or find something that looks like this that won't cut your skin open, and you can start with that also. But this is what we want to do to open up this area, and then when you're done, you can move it around and realize that you have much better range of motion. It is literally that simple. All right, so thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Give this exercise a shot. I'm literally going to continue this after I'm done shooting this video. If you have not looked into my free Facebook group or my Tibial Plateau Fracture online program with weekly coaching calls in a community where I answer questions every single day, and your first 7 days are completely free, you just need an email address, and you want to get better, then check those out. I can't say it enough. I don't think the doctors and the other physios are maliciously trying to hold you back, by no means. However, I think they really underestimate the importance of doing so much more on your own. So if you're doing a lot on your own, do more. If you're getting the results that you want, that is fantastic. My goal is not to trigger you and show everybody's results are better than yours. No, it's just to light a little bit of a fire under your ass to make sure you keep doing what you need to do so you get the results you deserve too. Hit me up, comment, share this video, do whatever you want, but the most important thing is do something for yourself so you get better.